Boyd Coddington's garage wasn't just a workplace. It was once the most legendary shop in the custom car world. He built hot rods that looked like they came from another planet. His polished billet wheels and sleek designs were unlike anything people had ever seen. He became a TV icon on the show American Hot Rod, known for his bold style and strict leadership. But when Boyd Coddington died suddenly in 2008, the shop that once roared with life fell completely silent. For years, the garage remained locked up. No one dared to touch what he left behind. Then someone finally opened the doors. What they discovered was more than unfinished cars. It was a hidden world of personal notes, secret blueprints, unpaid bills, and stories of betrayal. This wasn't just about cars. This was about a man who tried to control everything, except the way his legacy came crashing down. What they found in Boyd Coddington's garage will leave you speechless. Long before television crews filmed his every move, Boyd was just a kid from Rupert, Idaho. Born in 1944, he grew up obsessed with cars. While other kids played games, Boyd worked with engines, metal, and tools. He dreamed of building the perfect hot rod. After moving to Southern California, the center of car culture, he got a job as a machinist at Disneyland. At night, he worked on custom cars in his garage. That small, greasy space became the birthplace of a movement. In 1977, Boyd opened Boyd's Wheels and then Hot Rods by Boyd. He did what no one else dared. While other builders made loud, chrome-heavy machines, Boyd created elegant, futuristic cars with smooth lines. His use of billet aluminum changed the game. His cars weren't just vehicles. They were sculptures that rolled. By the late 80s and 90s, Boyd was a superstar. He won the America's Most Beautiful Roadster award over and over. Celebrities wanted his builds. Museums displayed them. He didn't just follow trends, he made them. Then in 2004, American Hot Rod launched on the Discovery Channel. Millions of viewers watched the high-stakes shop life unfold. Boyd became a global name. But the fame came with a price. Boyd was a perfectionist. What viewers saw on TV was just the surface. What they didn't see was the pressure, the stress, and the broken relationships behind the scenes. Boyd demanded perfection. If a build wasn't flawless, it was a failure. That mindset produced amazing results, but it also pushed people past their limits. The shop was intense. Employees worked long hours racing impossible deadlines. People got burned out. Some couldn't handle the pressure. Talented builders came and went. Many never returned. One of the biggest departures was Chip Foose, Boyd's most talented designer. Chip created some of Boyd's most famous cars. But tension grew. Creative clashes, control issues, and personal disagreements tore them apart. Chip left in the early 2000s and started his own company. Soon after, his show Overhaulin' became a huge success. The public didn't know how bitter their split really was. What looked like friendly competition was actually a deep and personal rivalry. Inside Boyd's shop, everything was coming undone. In February 2008, tragedy hit. Boyd Coddington died from complications after surgery. He was only 63. The car world was shocked. People everywhere mourned the loss. Fans, clients, even former employees who had clashed with him came forward to share their respect. But as the world paid tribute, the shop went quiet. Tools were left on benches. Cars remained half-built. No one knew what would happen next. The TV show was canceled. The business had no clear leader. Behind the scenes, legal battles started. Who owned the shop? Who had the rights to his designs? There were unpaid debts. Lawsuits began to pile up. Family members and former partners fought over control. Rumors started flying. Some believed Boyd had hidden groundbreaking blueprints. Others whispered about secret safes, celebrity IOUs, and personal letters never meant to be read. The garage became a mystery. Locked and untouched, it faded from public view until one man decided to open it. In 2014, a private collector with a deep respect for Boyd bought the property. What he thought would be a normal sale turned into something much bigger. As he walked into the dark, dusty building, it felt like stepping into a forgotten world. The lights flickered on for the first time in years. What he saw looked frozen in time. 7 unfinished hot rods stood like statues. Some were just metal frames. Tools sat exactly where workers had left them. as if they had walked out and never returned. On one bench was a sketch, an original Boyd design that no one had ever seen. But the most stunning discoveries were in the back rooms. Inside sealed drawers and locked cabinets were dozens of hand-drawn blueprints. Some were decades old. Many had never been built or shown to the public. One design was for a hybrid hot rod, far ahead of its time. Experts later said this one car could have redefined Boyd's legacy, but it was never completed. Scattered among the designs were unpaid invoices marked urgent in red. Some vendors were still big names in the car world. Their work had gone unpaid for years. In a locked drawer, the collector found personal letters. One was addressed only to someone with initials. The words suggested Boyd had felt deeply betrayed by someone close to him. The letter hinted that Boyd had been planning to confront this person. There were also lists, pages and pages, written in Boyd's own handwriting. Project plans, names of collectors, warnings like, "Do not show anyone." It was clear Boyd had been planning something major before his death. Maybe a comeback, maybe a new line of cars. But whatever it was, he didn't live long enough to finish it. One name kept appearing in files and letters: Chip Foose. Boyd and Chip had once been a dream team. Chip's modern, sleek designs helped shape Boyd's greatest creations, but behind the success was tension. As Chip's name got more attention, Boyd reportedly felt threatened. Some insiders said Boyd began rejecting Chip's work just to stay in control. Others said Chip was tired of being pushed into the background. Their split was dramatic and final. Chip went on to build his own empire. His show was friendlier, calmer, and more collaborative. Everything Boyd's show was not. Meanwhile, Boyd's business continued to struggle. Inside a cabinet, they found letters that revealed just how bitter their falling out had become. One accused Chip of stealing ideas. Another showed a design labeled "For My Eyes Only." That same design looked nearly identical to a car Chip later released under his own brand. There were also notes showing Boyd was planning a new car line. He wanted to crush Chip's rising popularity. The builds never happened. But the rivalry was clearly about more than cars. It was about pride, legacy, and identity. As they searched the garage, they found something far more disturbing than car parts. Deep inside a rusted cabinet was a folder marked "Confidential." Inside were records that exposed a financial disaster. From the outside, Boyd's business looked perfect. He had a popular show, famous clients, and a loyal fan base. But the documents told a different story. The business was drowning in debt. Vendors hadn't been paid. Some had taken legal action, but were silenced through settlements. The 2005 audit report warned of financial collapse within 3 years. The report mentioned missed payrolls, bad accounting, and reckless spending. It turned out to be right. Bank statements showed money taken out for personal expenses. One loan had been secured using a car that had already been promised to a buyer. Letters threatened lawsuits over trademarks and contract violations. One folder labeled "Do Not Open Without Legal Counsel" contained a draft lawsuit accusing Boyd of fraud and theft of ideas. The lawsuit never went to court, but the accusation changed everything. The man the world saw as a legend had been hiding a dangerous truth. Among all the rusted tools and scattered parts, the most heartbreaking discovery was a small leather journal. It was hidden in Boyd's personal desk. The cover was worn. The pages were filled with tight handwriting. These were Boyd's personal thoughts during his final years. It wasn't a daily diary. It was a confession. He wrote about the crushing weight of the business. He admitted he couldn't sleep. He said he didn't trust his own team anymore. One entry read, "Everyone sees the cars. No one sees the pressure." In another, he hinted at being betrayed so badly he couldn't bring himself to name the person. After Boyd's death, his son Chris tried to continue the legacy. He created a new brand, Boyd Coddington wheels, using his father's designs. Loyal fans supported him, but the spark was gone. Without Boyd's drive and vision, the company faded. Orders slowed. The brand lost momentum. But something surprising happened. Boyd's original cars, once seen as flashy trophies, became treasured relics. Collectors began searching for his builds. Some unfinished cars were restored and sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. One Roadster, untouched since Boyd's death, sold for over $300,000. These vehicles weren't just hot rods anymore. They were pieces of history. Each one told a story of genius, struggle, and heartbreak. For many collectors, owning a Coddington original wasn't just about the car. It was about saving a piece of a dream that never got to come true. Boyd had big plans for a final collection of cars. They were supposed to change the custom scene again. The designs were ready, the ideas were strong, but the man behind them was gone. His empire never fully came back. Still, his influence spread. Young builders studied his sketches, his successes inspired, his failures warned. Boyd's story became more than just a TV show or a set of awards. It became a symbol of how chasing perfection can take everything, even your peace. Boyd Coddington's story didn't end with his death. It still echoes in the dark corners of that garage. The half-built hot rods, the secret plans, the regret-filled journal, they all tell the real story. Boyd wasn't just a builder of cars, he was a builder of dreams. Some came true, others never made it out of the garage.